A special thank you to EA for providing access to the Sims 4 Castle Estate Kit. So today we're checking out the new Castle Estate Kit. Special thank you to EA for that. So we're building a castle in none other than Henford on Bagley. I found the perfect lot. It's where the Watsons live, which is this location here. It's a 64 by 64 lot. And after like scoping around the different lots in different worlds, I thought this was like the most appropriate place to put a castle because it's very secluded, but also just what surrounds it. I think a castle really fits well in this location, and having the lot size is also important because I wanted my first castle build to be quite large. So yes, it is a very big build, even though the castle itself is kind of small, but we'll get into that. But before we go any further, I did want to talk about a Castle Estate Kit giveaway. I will have a link in the video description below where you can enter that giveaway from now until January 27th, 2024. And that's also thank you to EA for that as well, doing giveaway codes. So it's a great way to give back and give you guys a chance at this beautiful new pack. And it's mainly a build pack. So when it came to like furnishing the castle, there isn't like furniture that came with the pack itself. So you have to use whatever furniture you have in the game. For this particular castle build, I only used 3 packs. So I used Horse Ranch, Cottage Living, and the Castle Estate Kit, and base game furnishings as well, obviously. But I thought the mixture of packs was important. And Horse Ranch I did because I wanted horse stables. Now, there aren't like full-on like horse stables you would find at a horse ranch. They're mainly just horse beds kind of tucked inside the castle walls, which we'll see later on as we are progressing with the build itself. But the build itself is called King Arthur's Castle. I know, kind of funny, but because my name is Arthur, but yeah, I'm building my castle. So no, and I also have a moat. No, I'm just kidding. But I just thought it was a cool thing to do and kind of build a castle with a moat. So I am terrible at the terrain manipulation and pond tool, water tool tools. So this is like the best moat I could ever come up with. The moat itself actually doesn't like connect all the way around the back, because back here I put this like walkway area. I figured if horses were going to be getting inside the castle to go to their horse bed, I thought that they needed a path to get in. I'm pretty sure the horses can go through the normal front door too, which would also be kind of funny, but I thought this back portion would be like the exit for horses or carriages, if there were carriages. There aren't carriages in The Sims 4, but in the medieval times you would have had a carriage or something. So I thought the back portion of the castle was great for that, to have that kind of like big path opening to kind of get in there. They also color the water with the murky pond water of the moat. So I just thought that kind of also looks great. We are putting in little logs. So I think they're base game, but if you click on the logs, I was going to say I thought they came with Cottage Living, but they do not. But if you click on the logs with Sim on the lot, you can actually allow turtles to sunbathe on it, which I think is so cute because the turtle will pop out of the water and just kind of chill on the log. We'll get to that in the screenshots. There's a bunch of wildlife in the moat itself that surrounds the castle. So you'll have swans and ducks, alligators, and I think that's pretty much it. Swans, ducks, alligators. Oh, and the turtles. Yeah. I mean, they're not really anything else. And then there's fish too. So you can fish in the moat if you want to. So totally up to you. I don't know what you'll pull out of there, but it's still pretty cool to do. So this is the interior of the castle. There's 2 like wings, I guess, and then there's the center entrance, and then upstairs, you saw me kind of put that together. There's a staircase that goes upstairs, but it's exterior to the main castle. This is a small balcony we're doing here. This is not accessible to your Sims, but everything else is. So this front portion here is accessible, as well as walking around the perimeter of the upper portion of the castle walls. And then on the first floor, you can actually walk in the perimeter of the actual castle itself. They're kind of like hallways. I kind of wanted to keep it that way and keep them accessible. There's really like nothing in there. It's just like a long walking hallway and some doors and archways at different points to get in there. But it was kind of like, I guess in the medieval times, if your castle was being attacked, you could like go and hide there or run in there or something, or just kind of run around and kind of guard your castle. So that's kind of what I was going for there, kind of channeling that a little bit and making it all accessible. But again, it's like there's really nothing in those like castle walls. It's just like a giant hallway. But I did have some issues with the trim and the friezes, but I think we got that figured out for the most part. So yeah, it's coming together quite well. The roof is also accessible up here in the center. We do add a ladder in the second story area. Kind of weird, but I figure, hey, it's cool because you can still get up there. I did put a telescope in there. Kind of modern, but you know, it works. I just figure you can kind of spy on your neighbors from the top of your castle if you wanted to. So this is the way you access the second story of the castle. As I said, it's exterior to the main castle structure. And then there will be a doorway into a big expansive hallway. The castle itself has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So I thought that was kind of cool. The 1 bedroom is kind of small, but it still works. It's functional as a bedroom. And before we go any further, I do want to say this build is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is the gallery listing. So you can see the packs I used. It's just 3, so it should be accessible to a wide variety of people. It's on a 64 by 64 lot. I built it in Henford on Bagley, which came with the cottage living expansion pack, and it's 212,118 simoleons. I mean, no one said castles were going to be cheap, so quite an expensive castle. I attribute that to there not being many antique or castle related like artworks and paintings, and the base game has like some very like antique-y old looking paintings, but they're like really expensive as far as simoleons go, like to use. But I thought, I mean, they fit with the overall style of the build, so I have to use them. So that increased the value. There's also a basement in the castle as well, which has Nectar making, which came with Horse Ranch. We have Nectar storage bottles. We have a games table, which I'm pretty sure that was base game because there was no expansion tag on it. So there's like a games table in the center, so your Sims can kind of have some fun down there. There's also a throne room, which has 2 chairs there and a desk where I kind of figured they could like write laws or policies or something. It's not, you know, they won't do that. I just have like the quill pen that's decorative on there. And then some like books and stuff like clutter. But like the throne room obviously isn't going to be used nowadays. But I thought it was still cool to kind of include that aspect and keep it in there. Just to kind of, you know, have the ties to what this castle was or might have been in the past. So as the description in the gallery says, it's been here quite a while. And also, speaking of the past, this is like not accessible by your Sims either, but I found it in the debug catalog while I was doing landscaping, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's perfect. So I put it off to the one side of this castle. So it's kind of like a place where, like, I guess at one point it would have been accessible, but it's not anymore. It was just like a place where you could kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like taking back to like guarding your castle. Like you could have had a boat there or something waiting to evacuate in your little moat. I don't know. I imagine the moat would have like connected to a proper water source. I also did put this like non-functional water wheel decorative that's also from debug. I was toying with this like wishing well object and putting it on the roof, and I'm like, no, that's weird. And I thought about putting it inside the castle, and I'm like, no, because I need that space for horses. So yeah, the water wheel isn't functional either, but again, it's kind of like tying back to what this castle might have had in the past. So, and speaking of past, it is not actually in the past. You have modern appliances. So you have a fridge, stove, sink. I didn't put anything like a microwave or like coffee or anything like that. So there's no dishwasher either. So you kind of are still a little bit in the past, but there is also modern plumbing. So you do have showers, tubs, and toilets and sinks. So you know, it's not like it's not like totally medieval times. I was thinking about putting this like super like medievally looking base game composting toilet in like the bathrooms, and I thought, no, we'll just stick with a standard flushing toilet, because I mean, you're already going to have a proper working bathtub and shower anyway, so why not just stick with functional toilets and not compostable, because that's also kind of gross. I was trying to hide the clipping of the new railing that came with the Castle Estate kit, so we just make that a non-accessible little like bump out. And as far as the front piece there, like over the main front door, that does have a door on the back of it. I was going to turn it into like a small like library or study, but then I actually just made it storage. It is accessible, so you can kind of do whatever you want with it and put whatever you want in it. But I just kind of put a couple of like barrels, like decorative barrels in there. Because again, it's nectar making throughout this whole castle, mainly nowadays anyway. So now we're taking the upstairs and kind of chopping it up and coming up with a floor plan. So on the one side of the house, or castle rather, it'll be like the primary bedroom and a attached bathroom that's kind of inside the bedroom. And then we have a small hallway bath and then the two smaller bedrooms down here. And this hallway is just kind of like snakes through and basically just goes into this big open area, which gets you into the primary bedroom. And that's also where I tuck the ladder for access to the roof. But again, that balcony is not accessible. I really did kind of think about making it accessible, but there were already so many doors like everywhere and archways. And I thought, nah, we're just going to leave that go. If you want it accessible, you can totally add an archway up there, like, you know, shift the windows around a little bit and kind of put the archway in the middle again if you want to get to that balcony. But it's just decorative mainly. So now we're putting in some lighting to lighten up the place. I used horse ranch lighting because they're like, I don't know if they're like candles, or at least they looked close to candles, but they also seemed very castle-esque. Yeah, they are like little candles. We do put a longer one out towards the front door, but I don't believe I changed that to a shorter one because when I was taking screenshots, I noticed that the longer version of that horse ranch like chandelier thing was kind of like hanging down where Sims would walk. I'm sure they could like walk around it no problem, and they did, but it just looked so odd. So I did shorten it to basically what's on the interior of the castle. We do tuck in the horse beds in the corners and a little bit of clutter by the little doors there. Horse-related clutter. Now we're working on the basement. I was just trying to get the shape of the basement to kind of match with the overall shape of the upstairs of the castle. So if you want to do that, you can use the basement tool, and that'll actually build the basement below your castle. Something I figured out while I was building. So you can kind of stay above and then, you know, use the basement tool, and you can build the basement below and still have the same shape. Nice that I figured that out kind of after I already started. But I also did paint the ceiling, so it's so nice to have that feature in the game now. They get the stone, same treatment as the floor. I think it just helps complete the entire castle look and feel, because it's just stone walls and stone floors all around. But I think without the ceiling painting aspect, it would have just been so odd. So I'm glad that we can do that. Just kind of putting in lights. Originally, I had like base game exterior lights kind of tucked around, but I thought these like little candle-y looking horse ranch lanterns were actually perfect. So now we are putting the dining room together. We do put a bar in there, and then this will become the kitchen area, which has a stove and refrigerator and sink. It's very, I wouldn't say it's medieval looking, but it's very classic looking, but it's still a very big kitchen. It's a very big room. But what else do you need in here? I mean, you have the bar, you have like eating space, and then I found the Nectar stuff, so I quickly made a stackable wall for Nectar storage. We have like this bar back decorative thing that I put, that'll become the games room. And then I was just trying to figure out furnishings. I found this little like crafting table that came with cottage living, so I put that outside. And yeah, just kind of cluttering it up to make it look like a lived-in castle, of course, making it very pretty and making it feel very grand and we're just putting more Nectar related clutter as I find it. The master or primary bedroom actually has a small stove. So you have the fireplace in the living room, but then you have like a small stove in the bigger primary bedroom. And curtains are also kind of fun, but I did use horse ranch curtains because I thought it was nice to have shorter curtains in the living room, and I love the color because it kind of tied in with the area rug. And then I used cottage living chairs, and I believe that's a horse ranch chair with like the sheet over it, and just a bookcase, a nice bookcase here in the corner. No TV, as you'll notice, because I mean, I wanted it slightly modern, but I don't want a TV in a castle. So yeah, we do armored knights by the front door. I thought that was kind of cool. I found those in the catalog as well. They're like decorative base game items, and a couple little pictures here and there. Again, this is where you it's like, what kind of artwork do you use? Because most of the artwork is kind of like modern, or it just doesn't really go with the style of a castle, but I think it works quite well. I did tuck a mallard duck decoration up on top of the fireplace. I thought that was kind of like, should I do this? But because there's actually like mallard ducks just like that in the moat, and I thought, oh my gosh, like the owner of the castle like stuffed one of the ducks and put it on the fireplace. I did keep it there. I thought that was kind of cool to have as like a little decoration kind of thing. That's not really what happened, but if you want that to be what happened, by all means, go right ahead and run with it. But it was still a cool decoration nonetheless. We're just putting a little bit more kitchen clutter in here to make it feel a little more like lived in, but also very medieval. So you have like pots and baskets and kettles and things like that, kind of cluttering the countertops. There are no upper cabinets because I thought that was kind of like not something you would see in this time. And then we are getting into the bedrooms now. I did put this it was like a locked away like jewel thing in the corner of the primary bedroom. I was kind of thinking that would be more like a crown, but it's not a crown. It's just like fancy jewelry, and it's decorative. Like it doesn't really, I don't think it really does anything. We also put in the castle dollhouse as well, because you're in a castle, you might as well play with a castle dollhouse, right? For the kids. So yeah, there's 3 bedrooms up here. Again, the one bedroom is kind of small, but it still works. I mean, it's a bed, dresser, mirror. Like, what else do you need? These were simpler times, so space doesn't really, you don't need a lot of space. But I did want some of the rooms to feel kind of vast and big. But this one's just kind of small, but it's just because of the floor plan layout of the castle. But it still works. It's fine. They just sleep there. You're going to explore the rest of the property anyway. But yeah, just kind of finishing around some more decorations and clutter, different items and different urns and things, because I thought that was also kind of fitting for the time. I don't normally use those because I don't like them. I find them a little creepy, but in this case it works great. So this is the master or primary bedroom, and that's where I was going to tuck the composting toilet in there, and I thought no, we'll not do that, because it's like, it doesn't make sense, because you already have the running shower and the tub. So it's like, okay, yeah, that makes no sense. We'll just give them a regular toilet. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good. So there is modern plumbing in here, so your Sims can have like a blast living here and living out the medieval times. It brings back some memories of The Sims Medieval from The Sims 3 days. I don't know if you've had the chance to play The Sims Medieval at all, but that was actually pretty cool. I don't know that you could actually build there. Maybe you could customize it a little bit, but I did play it like a few times, and it was actually pretty interesting. So this pack, the Castle Estate kit rather, not pack, actually kind of reminded me a little bit of that. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to have this. I don't know that this is something you would, use all the time. Like, I don't know that you're going to be building castles all the time, but the items that come with it actually work quite well, especially the windows, because you can use them for like older style, like Windenburg get-together kind of builds. you know, very kind of older style builds. So there is uses for a lot of this stuff, which is great. And I love all the swatches of the wallpapers because you have like mossy ones, you have dirty ones. Same goes with the flooring. You have dirty floors, you have mossy floors. So the use cases are actually like a lot, but again, like you're not going to be building castles all the time, but it's nice to see the versatility of the items. So you could use it in other ways, however you see fit. So that is the throne room going together. And I thought these like candle like stands could act as like floor lamps. We did put one outside because I thought that was kind of nice to kind of light up that second story to first story, staircase just at the top. It's just purely decorative, but yeah, just kind of tucking some different things around the exterior of the castle itself. And again, with clutter, I found these gold bars. They're also locked away in the game, but I thought that's kind of cool because, you know, King Arthur's castle, he would have gold bars, right? I mean, I don't know that you'd like place them proudly in your like living room space, but they did here, so why not? Just finishing up with some decorative plants. And I didn't really do too much out here. This is mainly just kind of like a channel to direct Sims out. But here is the finished castle. So we are going through, and this is what it looks like from all around. And the little animals in the moat, it's so nice to see. Especially the gator. He did take a while to kind of pop out of the water, but he does. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. So they kind of pop around the moat all the time. So this is the floor plan. You can see this is the basement level. This is the first level. And then this is the second level. And now we're going to kind of go inside the castle walls. So this is like inside the castle walls. You can see the horse beds. And horse-related items, including the feeding and water trough. This is a hallway access, and then we go around to the back. This is the exterior entrance. I'm sure horses can fit through that, no problem. This is the back area out of the exterior of the castle. This is the interior or main entrance. It's very grand, very royal feeling, but also very castle feeling, especially this. Like, this is my favorite screenshot because you can see the ceiling and the living room, and it's just so pretty. It's a great place to live. I'm actually super proud of how this turned out because this is totally not my style at all. Like, I'm more ultra modern kind of person. So doing something like this is definitely outside my comfort zone, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. I have to say the kit probably really helped with that, bringing in the style, because even when I was building, like, it was just like white, you know, white walls and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, this really doesn't look like a castle. But then, like, once you paint it and add the trim and the doors and the windows, it's like, boom, you have a castle. I guess that's why it's called the Castle Estate Kit. But if you did enjoy this speed build, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever played The Sims Medieval as well. I'm just curious how many Simmers actually, you know, got a chance to play that. Did you enjoy playing a game like that? Would you ever want to see it come back? I don't know that we ever will, but, you know, it's still pretty neat to have these items, at least nowadays. And again, you can find King Arthur's Castle on the Sims 4 gallery. My EA ID is just TheSimified, so you can search it that way, or by hashtag King Arthur or Castle Estate Kit. So you can find it a bunch of different ways. So it is there available for you to play with. And the views are just beautiful. And this is that small little closet area in the front of the castle. This is the rooftop area. You can see the telescope. Kind of does look a little out of place, but it's okay. You're just spying on your neighbors. That's all. This is the basement level. We have the woodworking bench over there as well, not just nectar making. So you can do a variety of different activities down here with your Sims. The games table there looks all right, I think. It's kind of right in the center, and that's about it. And then this is the throne room. And then we tour a little bit of the moat and see some of the animals that live in the moat, including the turtles resting on the log, the gator kind of poking out there. There's the turtle. He's a little close up. He kind of just rests on there. And the ducks and another gator. So yeah, they're out in full force. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.